You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? Welcome to your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and what a night tonight in Colorado. It's a Rocky Mountain high for the Marlins, jumping out of that water as high as those fish can fly with a 5-run comeback, count them 5, in the top of the 9th inning to pull off a 9-8 stunner. And hey, nobody wins a game in the 9th inning coming back this year in Major League Baseball like your Miami Marlins. That's right, Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. First things first, I want to thank you for making us your first watch/listen every day with your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. We're free. We're available wherever you get your podcasts and right here on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And wherever you get your podcasts, right? Like, it's iTunes and Apple Music and iHeart and Stitcher and Podbean and everywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, all the above with your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Of course, you have Locked On Marlins with Pete, Locked On Canes with Alex, Locked On Dolphins with Kyle, and then Alex, Kyle, and I will be the triumvirate, the triangle. I don't want to do the Illuminati sign. You know what I'm saying? Triangle. Throw your rocks up here. It's the rock in here. You know what I'm saying? It's a triangle. Throw your diamonds in the sky if you feel the vibe, because we got the best football coverage in the world right here. Dolphins, Canes, and the POSTCAST. Trust me. Alex Dono, network host on WQAM in Miami. Shout out to QAM, the flagship station of the Canes. Network host, postgame, halftime. And then Kyle's as good as it comes in the NFL, man. I got to pick it up, man. I got to be a part of this group. All right, Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. Today is the greatest show of all, presented by FanDuel. That's right. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to get started. There you have it, right? And that's a good deal. 3 weeks free YouTube and YouTube TV. Where's my guy, Baseball Fan 31 at? Where are my Fish fans at tonight? 5 runs in the 9th inning, man. Are you kidding me? What an inning it was, man. Top to bottom. It's 8-4 Rockies. Been high in the Rockies, under the evergreens. Not tonight, until the end of the game. And not under the evergreens, but you don't need to be under the evergreens because you got the top bars in Denver for the Marlins after that. Well, that was a nice win. All kidding aside, Griffin Conine. Yeah, there he is, that Niner. Conine with the double to center to start the inning. He had a triple in the 6th inning. Couple of hits, some ribbies for Conine. You got to love Conine. And then Hensley singles Conine to third. Norby walks, and then here comes Burger. Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, hold the onions, hold the tomato. No mustard, no ketchup, no relish. Who puts relish on a burger? Get the out of here. No mayo, just burger. Maybe a little bit of cheese. Just a little bit of that hot cayenne habanero ghost pepper cheese, because that's what Jake Burger was tonight with that double in the 9th inning, his only hit of the game. But man, was it a big one. And man, did it come at the right time for Jake. He's got some big hits this year in some huge moments, and tonight was another one of those. And look what's on the line here. The Marlins are 47-84. The Rockies are 49-83. You got to win the next 2 games. You have to. Tonight was huge. You cannot finish with the worst record in the National League. Nobody's going to finish with the worst record in baseball other than the historically bad Chicago White Sox. The Black Sox weren't as embarrassing as they are to this franchise. I'm not kidding. And it's a stain of centuries, the Black Sox, and this could be worse. I'm not kidding. So anyway, Burger doubles, Conine and Hensley score. Connor Norby, who's been dope lately, balling so hard, he's on third. Hill runs for Burger, and here comes Sanchez. No runner necessary. You can all walk. You can all jog. You can all admire yourselves as you do it, because I'm going yachts. And he hit a 402-foot home run, they say, to right center field. And Norby scores, Hill scores, and then right after that, as luck would have it, Bride, Lopez, Stowers, foul out, ground out, strikeout. They did all that with no outs. A 5-run rally, everybody off those bases. Bang, it's 9-8 Marlins. And just like that. It's the bottom of the ninth. Faucher's on the mound for Miami, and 2 strikeouts swinging. Blackmon and Tovar. Where are those home runs now? Tovar hit 2 home runs early in the game. Blackmon hit 1. Strikeout swinging, and here comes McMahon. He might as well have been Vince McMahon at 78 years old up there. Strike 3. Game over. Marlins win. Another 9th inning comeback and an outstanding performance by the Marlins. I mean, the bullpen held it down. Roddery Munoz got ripped. And I mean, he got ripped tonight, right? Roddery Munoz got absolutely crushed. He only lasted an inning and a third. It happens to starting pitchers in Colorado. Good Lord, man. 7 hits, 6 runs, all earned. I mean, it was just BP for Colorado against him. And then Bermudez comes in, pitches a couple innings, all right. And then in the 3rd inning that he's in there, he gets crushed. So Bermudez gives up 2 earned runs, 8 runs allowed in 5 innings by the Marlins today. 8 runs allowed. And they had scored 4 runs in 5 innings and getting buried. They scored 4 off Quantrill on 7 hits in 5 2/3. And then they scored 4 off Kinley and 1 off Shivili, who got the loss to be 1-2. Soriano got the win for the Marlins with a scoreless inning. Faucher gets the save, his 4th. So Baumann and Soriano and Faucher, 4 innings of hitless and scoreless relief, 5 strikeouts. The bullpen does it again. And it was Sanchez, and it was Berger, and it was Conine, and it was Brujan, and it was Stowers again, and it was Norby again, scoring 2 runs. Love him. He's the best leadoff guy they've had all year in my mind. Stowers with his first Marlins homer. And yeah, I mean, it is, it's getting a little bit better. You can see it in spurts. You're starting to see what these guys who came over in these trades, like Stowers, like Norby, Hill, who they claimed, right, and what he's been doing. So this lineup, look at this lineup up and down. Jake Berger's the only guy in it. What was their let me see this. Miami Marlins opening day lineup. Let's see where we are in the show. Opening day lineup 2024. Now, hold on 1 second. See where we are on the clock. All right, we got plenty of time, and we got a couple of people waiting, I think, on the edge of your seat with bated breath because De La Cruz and Puck and Sanchez, Chisholm and Bell and Cabrera. I'm looking at Miami Marlins roster 2024. I Google searched it, and most of the guys who came up have already been traded. So let's see the Marlins. Meyer. Okay, here's the projected lineup by RotoChamp to start the year. Oh, this is today's lineup. Never mind. Oh, okay, it's updated. It wasn't preseason. I'm still trying to find this, okay? Miami Marlins announce opening day roster. How about I'll just do this since these sports sites don't like to make things easy on anybody anymore. So maybe we should start our own. Anyway, okay, schedule. Here we go. Beginning of the year. Opening day roster. We're doing this literally. We're unpacking this as we go organically right here for you on your Locked On Marlins postcast on your opening day, okay? And remember, all the way back, they were celebrating the playoff berth from a year ago, and they played the Pirates, and they lost 6-5 in 12 innings, and it was a disastrous loss, an RBI single in the 12th. The bullpen for the Pirates looked really good. And, Skeens was not the starter, right? So Miami's lineup on opening day of 2024. 0 for 6 in the leadoff spot. Guess who? Luis Arraez, 0 for 6 in the leadoff spot, okay? 2-hole, 2 for 4 with a run scored, Josh Bell. 3-hole, 1 for 6 with a run scored, Brian De La Cruz. Cleanup, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, Jazz Chisholm. 4, all of them gone. Berger in the 5-hole, 3 for 4 with a run scored. 3 RBIs. Boom. Jesus Sanchez, right field, 0 for 3. Tim Anderson, forgot about him. Shortstop, another batting champion, an experiment gone awry. They DFA'd him. Forgot about him. Gone. Nick Gordon, 0 for 3. Gone. Brujan, pinch hit. He's still here, but I'm not talking about that. Fortes caught. Bethancourt, the backup, is gone, right? Jonah Bride did pinch hit that day. Luzardo was the starter with Alcantara on the IL, obviously with the Tommy John. Soriano, Nardi, Bender, Sanchez, Scott, and Cronin were the pitchers that day. I don't have to tell you what's happened to that lineup, to that roster, to that pitching staff since then. Now, I don't say this to pig pile. I don't say it to, just kind of keep throwing straws on the camel's back. I say it because now you're looking at all these kids who came back in the trades. Now you're looking at all the prospects that the other teams didn't want. And you can get all that crap you want from the Marlins front office about how they took so many great prospects back from the Padres and all these other teams. And, the Padres traded 12 of their top 15. None of them are top 100. None are in the top 100. And if they were, they have since played their way out, and that's who the Marlins got back. All right? So you never know. But Stowers looking okay. Norby is a ball player. I like Norby a lot. And I like Hill. I think Hill could stick. We'll see. 9-8, they beat the Rockies. They come back. The comeback kids. Jesus saves. You think I'm going to be blasphemous here? No. Jesus saves the day. Jesus Sanchez has been hot lately, sizzling, crackling. That doesn't sound like fire. I tried. I did my best. I can't make the fire sound with my mouth. But I'm not an impressionist or a comedian. You're watching Locked On Marlins Postcast Burger Time. Hold everything but the cheese. Jake is ready to rock. Who needs it? It's bison burger, too, in the Rockies. It's buffalo burger. It's not some cow that's sitting around getting fat, knocking flies off itself all day. No. It is a buffalo or a bison running around active its whole life, just wrecking stuff. And that's the kind of meat I want. There you go. Locked On Marlins Postcast. When I come back in just a minute, un momento, por favor, I'm going to talk about the cardiac kids, the comeback Marlins. How many times are they going to do it? If you only played 3-inning games starting in the 7th inning this year, what would the Marlins record be? Maybe I'll have a guest for you on the other side. Locked On Marlins Postcast, Jim Greasehopper. Call me Grease. And I like this shirt because it makes me look like I have a tan, but it also has the Morey effect, which is kind of cool. Like I'm in the club. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there's your music bumper. Into the break. Locked On Marlins Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And right now, I'm going to tell you more about FanDuel. You've heard me talk a lot about FanDuel. FanDuel. America's #1 sportsbook. That's right. Well, we have something a little different for you. Mixing it up a little bit. Variety being the spice of life and all. And the season of giving is just underway. Never mind this pumpkin season. We'll just skip right over that. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5. And with that $5 bet, $5. Who says you can't get anything for $5 anymore? A $5 bet on FanDuel is going to get you a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket. The NFL doesn't give anything away for free. YouTube and YouTube TV is the outlet. It's from FanDuel, not the NFL. It's from FanDuel. They are hooking you up. With a YouTube TV base plan, after those 3 weeks, you're going to do exactly what I'm going to do because I got the 3 free weeks. You're going to be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game, including the Dolphins, so you can watch Locked On Dolphins Postcast right after they're done with me, yours truly. All you need is a Google account, current form of payment, and you can cancel any time. Just visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to download America's #1 sportsbook, FanDuel. And you know what? That really fires me up, guys. That actually really, really fires me up because I love good offers like that. I love when people take care of my people. You are my person. And when you get taken care of, I get taken care of. And I love that. I love every bit of it. And I love when the Marlins come back like they did tonight. Let's see if they caught up over here. There we go. Bing, bang. All right. Marlins, 5 runs in the 9th inning. Just a little recap here. Stun the Rockies, 9-8. Jake Berger, 2-run double. Jesus Sanchez, goodney goo goo. That's an Eddie Murphy line from a concert years ago. Eddie Murphy Raw, but he goes deep, 9-8, and then bang. There were no outs at the time. Clears the bases, and then 1, 2, 3, they go after that. But they erased the deficit, and Jesus Sanchez crushed that ball. Line drive, bullet, matchup between the 2 worst teams in the National League. They spotted him 6-zip. You'd have thought it was Bo Nix, the rookie, going against Tua and Hill and Waddle and that whole thing. But no, it's baseball. 2-run double from Jake Berger. Sanchez with HR number 17, the largest deficit Miami's overcome this season. They did beat the Rockies earlier this year when they had been down by 5 on April 30th. Otherwise, this gap between the 2 worst teams in the National League would be even worse. Right now, the Marlins had been, are you ready for this? They had been before tonight, because now it's 6-76. They had been 5-76 when trailing after 8 innings. Colorado had been 41-8 when leading after 8. It was the Rockies' largest blown lead of the year. So Rocky fans get to share in some of our misery this year. They've been terrible. They find new ways. You have been there, Marlins fan. You have been there many times this year where Rocky fan is tonight. It sucks. There's no good place for it. Largest blown lead of the year for the Rockies. A lot of Rockies fans getting high in the Rockies under the evergreens tonight, trying to forget about this game. Kyle Stowers' second home run of the year, first triple of the season for Miami. Griffin Conine, I talked about Niner. You know I'm calling him Niner. I covered Jeff Conine for a long time. Pretty good dude. He was grumpy at times, moody, but a pretty good dude and a great Marlin. And of course, the rings speak for themselves and Mr. Marlin and all that. But Griffin Conine had his first 2 career hits, a triple and a double, one day after making his major league debut, and his dad was Mr. Marlin, the first draft pick of the Marlins, the Florida Marlins, in 1993 when they had the worst teal uniforms of all time with the helmets that match Jeff Conine. When they played in a football stadium, you know they did. So George Soriano pitches a scoreless 8th. Fauché gets the save, his 4th. Ezekiel Tovar, I have to mention, Tovar, 4 RBIs, 3 extra base hits, 2 homers for Colorado, 20 and 21 on the year for him. 14th game this season with at least 3 hits for Tovar. Charlie Blackmon, Jacob Stallings, they had big games for Colorado as well. 2 hits apiece. The Rockies got at least 1 hit from every player in their lineup. There's never a reason on God's green earth. There should never be a reason any team should lose this game. These 2 teams were in a contest to see who would lose it first before anyone would win it. No one wanted to win this game. Blackmon, Sam Hilliard's home runs for Colorado. 133 homers career for Blackmon. Breaks a tie with Vinny Castilla. Shout out to Vinny in those days when they used to have to put the balls in humidors at Coors Field for Bichette and Walker and Galarraga and Vinny Castilla. 29 years they've been there. You believe that? Absolutely incredible. Tristan Gray had been DFA'd by the Marlins on Sunday. The A's picked him up. Max Meyer and Kyle Freeland pitching tomorrow. 8:40 first pitch. We'll be here right after the game with your Locked On Marlins postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And that 9th inning, man, that was awesome. I mean, that was really, really cool with Berger and Sanchez. And, you know, it's cool when you see that this team, I mean, and they've had some great comeback wins this year, right? But just in that 9th inning, right? Just in that 9th inning, the greatest thing, you just know when you see certain guys, right? Like you got Conine leading it off, and you knew he had that triple in the 6th. He's swinging the bat well. They don't know him completely yet. He doesn't know that he doesn't, you know what I mean? He doesn't know that he's not supposed to come through against these guys yet. He's just young and naive and coming in. Boom, perfect guy to lead off. Doubles to center. Hensley singles, Conine goes to 3rd. And then, boom, Norby walks, and here comes Jake Berger. Double to center field. And Sanchez, who had ripped a double and had to beat out the throw, just ripped it in the gap. They cut it off, and he beat it out. RBI double earlier in the game. Homers to right center. Norby scores. Hill scores. Norby is always in the middle of everything, man. Connor Norby is in the middle of everything all the time since he got here. You know, Stowers has been good, but Norby's been in the middle of everything. And I really enjoy watching him play in that leadoff spot. He's the type of dude. He reminds me of a kid I used to play with in high school named Chris Pedezwa. We called him Dez. He was the captain of the team, one of the 2. And the other captain would be like, Dez, we ran enough hills. He'd run like 100 hills if you let him. And he'd make us all do it too. He never got tired. He didn't understand why anybody else did because he didn't. But he also fouled off 100 pitches in a row against every tough pitcher he ever faced. Drove everyone nuts. He ended up being about like a 300 hitter. Not the greatest high school and American Legion ball player. Played collegiately Division I at UConn. Not on raw talent kill. He was great defensively, fast, everything. But as a hitter, he wasn't one of those guys who raked everything in the world. But he would scratch out 300 by fouling every pitch off. You never wanted to see him on base. He was always going to take the extra bag. Always a hard slide. Always in the middle of every scoring rally. Always, always, always with a dirty uniform. And that's Connor Norby. I love Connor Norby. I don't know how you feel about him since he's come over, but I really enjoy watching him play. And all I want to do is be more like Connor Norby and watch more players like him. He's in the middle of everything. He is literally in the middle of everything. He's that guy. Every one of you played with a kid like that growing up. Just couldn't get him out, man. He just wear you out. Wear you out. You know what I mean? And that was a nice job by the Marlins tonight with that comeback. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Burger time. Jesus saves the comeback kids in the pen. Again, what about tomorrow? Max Meyer on the bump for the Marlins. 2 games back in the win column. Joe Angel. Love you, Joe. And yeah, we'll talk about that on the other side. How do the Marlins catch the Rockies and not end up in the basement of the National League? Let's get real. Locked On Marlins Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team. They're yours every day. And I get a chance to talk to my skilled tradesmen and tradeswomen about supplyhouse.com, getting supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades. That's right, supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Remember those days? What city, please? Remember those days? I wish we had those days now, but you do with supplyhouse.com. Pros in the skilled trades can also get a competitive edge. You love a competitive edge, right? I do. We all do. You can do that by joining supplyhouse.com's free TradeMaster program. Every TradeMaster gets access to a dedicated phone line. That means it's all yours and nobody else's. Free shipping and discounts on every single order. Who's going to beat that? Nobody. Easy choice. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership. And I said free at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. And I want to thank you again. Oh, and I thank you. Thank you for making Locked On Marlins Postcast your first listen today. For your second listen, your second watch, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. It really is dope. I love it. I don't miss it every single day. Host Paul Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. He's here to provide national expertise with his trademark humor. He's funny, help you get ready for the playoffs, right? Here in the dog days of summer, you can prepare for the Fall Classic. The World Series right around the corner. Is it going to be the Phillies, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Yankees, the Guardians, the Orioles? Who will be playing for the trophy? We will find out, and Sully will have it covered for you every single day with Locked On MLB, available on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. And look at Jesus Sanchez. Look at that face. Look at that joy. This team has fun, man. I tell you every day, one team can win the World Series. 2 teams can play in it. Only one team can win the division. Only a certain number of teams can play in the playoffs. But day in and day out, you everydayers know this here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Day in and day out, you can be entertained. You can catch lightning in a bottle, and you can have an experience like you had tonight. How many Marlins fans do you think were even watching this game today? Against another terrible team. I mean, me, I'm face paint. I'm like, let's go. We're not going to finish with the worst record in the league, but maybe not you. How many Marlins fans do you think were watching this game today? How many Rockies fans do you think were watching? The ratings, do you think anyone was watching? And if they were, how many Marlins fans turned it off before the 9th inning when they didn't score in the 7th and they didn't score in the 8th? When they scored 2 times, how many fans were watching it? It was 6-0 after 2. How many Marlins fans were even watching this game after 2 innings when it was 6-0 Colorado and you're 48, 47 at the time in 84? How many Marlins fans do you think are watching after the Rockies hang 4 on them after 1? Dude, half the audience gone right there. The Rockies score 2 more in the second, 6-0 after 2, gone. If you had 50,000 people watching the game, 100,000 people watching the game, literally 80,000 of them would be gone after those first 2 innings. Then they score 2 in 3rd and 4th. And then they score 2 in the 6th. And it's 6-4 Colorado heading to the bottom of the 6th. And you're like, all right, we're in this game. If you're hanging around, you're still watching, you're going, yeah, baby, let's go. Because you're looking in that 6th inning, right? And you're seeing some things that you like. And they're chip right back. Brujan Stowers scores on a ground out from Buhan, and Sanchez with a sac fly, tick, 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 chip away, right? In the fourth inning, Stowers homers, Sanchez doubles in the third. So it's 6-4. You staying with me? You got to stay with me here. It's 6-4, okay? And then they score two more, so it's 8-4. So of the people who were watching in the beginning, of which there weren't many, percentage-wise of the fan base, maybe this piece of the pie, it got shrunk when they scored 4, shrunk more when they scored 2. Marlins scored 2. Maybe it still is hanging tough. Hanging tough. I can't believe I just did that. 2 more in the 6th. Hey, we got some more people checking in, maybe because of social media. Then the Rockies scored 2. We're all gone. Everybody's gone. Nobody in the 7th. Nobody in the 8th. And it is 8-4 going into the 9th inning. Which percentage of Marlins fans who might have watched them on TV to begin with, who might have tuned in today, who might have stuck it out past the first, who possibly could have stuck it out past the second, all the way through the 6th when it's 8-4, 7th and 8th, no runs. You're going to the 9th, it's 8-4. No such thing as a 5-run homer. How many people do you think were watching this game? How many people are going to see it on their phone, on their computer, and lose their mind because they didn't watch it? That's why you watch every day, because that 9th inning alone, it's free entertainment. It's at that 9th inning alone was incredible. Sitting there and watching these guys do what they just did in the 9th inning. Who cares what their record is? They didn't care in that moment. Conine, Hensley, Norby, Berger, Sanchez, they didn't care. Fauché coming on for the save, he didn't care. Soriano with the win, no, they didn't care. They want to win. They want to play every single day. They want to win. They're playing for their careers, for their jobs, for their livelihoods. Just because they're not in the pennant race doesn't mean you shouldn't watch them. It's still professional baseball. It's still a sport. It's still a lot of fun every single day. It's great. It's absolutely phenomenal. It really is. It really, really is. It's amazing, as a matter of fact, and I love it so much. And you should too. And every day we do this, right? You guys know, you everydayers. And we have the Dolphin shows now, and we have the Canes, the postcasts, right? And you got Kyle doing Dolphins, and you got Alex doing Canes, and you got me doing the postcast. That's big time right there. I work for ESPN. I do shows on ESPN radio all month long. I do a lot of things for them. And Alex Dono and Kyle Krabs are as good as anybody in this business. And those are your Locked On Canes and Locked On Dolphins hosts, and I'm the postcast guy. It's the Rock in here. You know what I'm saying? It's the Rock in here. That's what it is. So, yeah, big, big win for the Marlins tonight. Fantastic. Fantastic job. And you got Max Meyer coming tomorrow, all right? So let me do this. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... All right, here we go. Tomorrow. Max Meyer, 3-3 with a 5.44 against, the Rockies. And they're pitching Kyle Freeland. And Kyle Freeland is 3-6 with a 5.7 ERA. And let's see the numbers there. Plus 110 for Miami, minus 130 for the Rockies. 10.5 the total, minus 120 on the over. Even money on the under at 10.5. It tells you you're in Colorado. Freeland and Meyer. And Meyer has a tendency to give up home runs too. And so does Freeland, for that matter. 79 innings, 13 homers for him. 46 innings, 11 for Meyer. And he's been giving up pretty much 1 or 2 every start. Might want to go the over. I have a feeling about the Marlins, though, scoring 9 today. And we will see how that goes. 9 tonight. 9 tonight. Who sings it? Bob Seger. See those grays? Come on. Renaissance man. I know a little of everything here. All the music genres. You'll get them all with me. Maybe not all. No country. Because none of my exes live in Texas. Or whatever they say. Anyway, that's going to do it for me and for us with your Locked On Marlins postcast. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease at Jim Grease _ on social media. 9-8. The comeback win. 5 runs in the 9th. 2-run double for Jake Berger and a 3-run home run off the bat of Jesus Sanchez. Fauché with the save. 1, 2, 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning. Yeah, big performance by him as well against the meat of that order that had combined for 3 home runs and a whole bunch of RBIs in the game already. No problem for Fauché in that situation. And a big win for the Marlins. Remember when we were kids watching cartoons? One to grow on. Maybe you didn't have those cartoons. I did. I'm Jim Greasehaber, at @JimGrease_ on social media, reminding you as always to keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. We will talk to you tomorrow, 8:40 Eastern, first pitch, Locked On Marlins postcast, right after the game as the Marlins continue to chase the Rockies and try to pass them in the standings and not be the worst team in the National League. Make it a great night. Thank you for watching Locked On Marlins postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now go watch Locked On MLB with Sully, and we will see you tomorrow.